ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I would like to call up the man who's going to tell us about the program. First of all, he's going to welcome us. So in my culture, they say you cannot sit back, relax, take off your jacket and hang it on your seat until you've been officially welcomed. So I want you to relax. So I'm going to call up our CEO, Dr. Dlamini, to come and welcome you and give us an overview of what exactly this program is about. Dr. Dlamini, the stage is yours. My power is overpowering me.
Now, thank you very much, Unati. I would like to extend a very warm word of welcome to members of the CSIR leadership present, our speakers, Professor Emma Asher from the University of Pretoria, and Mr. Babalo Sekifile from Black Umbrellas. But more so, our CSIR alumni present here this afternoon. We are very, very delighted that you've responded to our call to you as the alumni of the CSIR to come back home. So thank you so much for your attendance today. I talk about the alumni that is here, but also those who are joining us online. You are very, very welcome. It is indeed a great pleasure and a privilege for me to welcome you all to this event, which marks the official launch of the CSIR alumni program. Although we are launching this program today, we have already over 1,000 alumni members of the CSIR who have joined this program online. So even though we're launching it today, I think the fact that we have so many of you who have raised their hands and want to be part of this program, it bodes well for the future of this kind of engagement. And we really look forward to having more of our former colleagues join and participate in this program. I want to also express our most sincere appreciation to our two guest speakers, Professor Emma Asher and Mr. Babalo Sekifile. Now, the purpose of this program is really to create a platform or an opportunity for the CSIR to tap into the network, the expertise that exists from the alumni of the organization. You know, when I joined the CSIR as chief executive, one of the things that I wish I was able to do when I was reflecting on, what is the next big thing that the CSIR ought to do, was to have a platform like this where I could speak to the alumni to get wisdom, to get guidance about what is it that we ought to do as a CSIR to take this organization forward. Unfortunately, we didn't have a platform like this. So I'm very delighted that we are officially creating a platform that allows us to have these kinds of interaction. I think what this platform also does is to create an opportunity for our alumni to continue to contribute towards the future of this organization, which I'm sure all of you still hold quite dearly. That this platform then gives you the opportunity to do that. But it's not only about the CSIR benefiting from this interaction. I think our view is that our alumni will also be in a better position to participate and to collaborate and to engage in the various programs and initiatives that are being driven by the CSIR. Looking at opportunities for technology commercialization, looking at opportunities to access the expertise and the facilities and the resources that the CSIR has to offer. So for me personally, it is a very, very big delight that indeed this day has come. I think as a CSIR, we take a lot of pride in the knowledge that some of our alumni have gone on to become distinguished leaders in academia, in business, in science councils, as well as in government, both locally and internationally. And there are many, many examples that one can quote in this regard. If I can mention perhaps just a few which are much more closer to us, but Dr. Philip Jwacha, for instance, who is the Director General of the Department of Science and Technology, is a member of our alumni. Dr. Molefe Mitugo, who is now the CEO of Mintech, Dr. Boitumelo Simete Makokotlela, who is the CEO of SAPRA, Dr. Jeanette McGill, who is the Vice President and General Manager, Metals and Mining at Aspen Technology, Professor Fulofelo Nolomondo, who is the CEO of the National Research Foundation, are just a few examples of some of our alumni who hold very senior positions in our country. But there are many others of our alumni who continue to distinguish themselves through their work in research, development, and innovation in different spheres of life. And I'm certain that all of you continue to contribute immensely to our country's advancement and development in the various roles that you fulfill. Now, one of the 4 values of the CSIR is collaboration. And we therefore see the creation of this program as also a step forward in the fulfillment of our intention with this value. I think this platform would create an opportunity for the CSIR, as I said earlier, to tap into this very fertile network of our alumni, to guide and inform some of the things that we are trying to do as an organization, things that we are trying to achieve. Of course, the success of a program like this can only occur if the relationship is mutually beneficial. I think being a member of the CSR alumni will bring with it certain rights and privileges to our alumni community, such as, of course, the simplest one, you have an access card to our campus, membership of the various sports clubs that we have within the organization, participation in our internal events, as well as access to the various resources that the CSIR has to offer. In our view, you are a very critical stakeholder and part of Team CSIR. We really see you as an extension of the CSIR organization. And therefore, we look forward to your continued support in positioning the CSIR to serve industry, to serve government, to contribute towards improving the quality of lives of the people of South Africa. In due course, we'll be rolling out a series of events and platforms to engage you, and we really look forward to your participation in all of these events and platforms that we'll be rolling out as part of the implementation of our alumni program. Alumni members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my privilege and honor to officially launch the CSR alumni program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Dr. Dlamini. You see, Dr. Dlamini is my co-host at the brown bag sessions that we have. So I call him Dr. D, but now I know here he is Dr. Dlamini. Thank you very much for those words. Thank you for welcoming us. So basically, if I heard you correctly, you are saying we are going to give them access to our campus, to our sports clubs, to everything that they had when they worked here, so that they can come back. Ne? Basically, that's what we want. We want you to come back. Question and answer session. All campuses. You see, wherever you are, the CSIR's got you. We are now going to play a video that's going to feature some of our alumni telling us what they love about their CSIR, why they want to come back. Or maybe they don't say that, but I hope. All right. 1945, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, commonly known as the CSIR, has been playing a key role in supporting the public and private sectors through directed research that is aligned with the country's priorities, the organization's mandate, and its science, engineering, and technology competencies. Our success is enabled by a diverse and vibrant workforce. Some of our employees have gone on to pursue other opportunities outside of the CSIR, but are still contributing to the national system of innovation and other industries. We take pride in and appreciate the wealth of knowledge that we have accumulated, as well as the vast networks that we have established through our alumni. The CSIR established its alumni program to enable it to continuously engage and strengthen ties with its former employees. As such, in this video, I will take you on a journey where we will speak to some of our alumni and get to understand the benefits of being a member of the CSIR alumni program.
So my time at the CSIR contributed to my personal growth in that when I joined CSIR, initially it was post my PhD, and I joined them as a postdoc scientist. My experience there and my tenure there enabled me to get to a point where I was a senior researcher. In addition, I had opportunities to do my postdoc overseas, and these were postdoc programs funded by the CSIR. When I then returned in 2015 as an executive director for biosciences, again, it enabled me to apply my skills in the area of management and leadership. And so those are the, I think, two takeaways for me.
So I was at the CSIR for more than 10 years, and it had a really profound effect. When I started at the CSIR, I was principal researcher and a research group leader. And when I left the CSIR, I was a chief researcher. It was an incredibly interesting time, and I learned a great deal, not just about science, but also about managing young people, and really my main interest, which I was able to engage in at the CSIR, was early career researchers and students. So how we can support them to best progress, not just within the CSIR, but also elsewhere.
My journey at the CSIR can be only described by epic. I started off as an intern under the Miraka Institute previously, now called Next Generation Enterprises. And there I learned how to program in Python and to write academic papers in a short space of 1 month. Following that, I formally joined the CSIR as an engineer. And there I got to be affirmed and given a platform to showcase my research and technical skills. One memory comes into mind where I had to go to Parliament in Cape Town and showcase the autonomous driving or self-driving vehicle. And yes, that was quite exciting. And going through the CSIR, I was also affirmed as a leader, where I was given a platform in the Young Professionals Forum to lead young people and enforcing some of our values and strategies. And I believe now I've been, for lack of a better word, commissioned to industry. And yes, that's how the CSIR has contributed to my career.
So thought long and hard about joining the CSIR alumni program. And I thought, considering the benefits that I've derived from my tenure there, considering how the CSIR contributed to my career, I think it would be remiss of me to not participate in the alumni program. And so it's for me to share my story with others, but also to avail myself, to the organization and to anyone who would like to hear about my journey.
I was approached to join the CSIR alumni program, and I was absolutely delighted because I think that there is a rich community of scientists and engineers who have moved on from the CSIR to take different journeys and to enjoy different adventures. But I think they still have a great deal to offer in terms of mentoring and leadership, and also providing, I think, on occasion, a sounding board from a different institution that maybe might give a diversity of opinions.
I believe that as the CSR strategy is to bridge the university research and industry. So the CSR is right there in the middle. I believe now that being in industry is actually an opportunity for me to be a link between the CSIR and industry, where some of those knowledge, mature knowledge and technical know-how in the CSIR can actually be applied in industry.
So my message to fellow alumni is that those who haven't joined the program is that particularly in instances where those individuals have benefited from their stint at CSR, there's power in sharing your personal story. And I think if they could at least do that, that would be helpful. But also, you know, as you derive from an institution, it's always good to also give back to that institution.
Well, firstly, to fellow alumni, I think the process of reflecting on what one can bring is a very useful one. I think everyone brings a slightly different mix of skills and experience. And I know for me, it's been very useful to think about what I can bring, what value I can add. But to those who haven't joined, I think it's a very powerful community. And I think many of us remain very committed to the CSR despite having gone on to different institutions and different journeys. And this is a wonderful way to be able to contribute and hopefully add value.
My encouragement to the alumni is that I believe that when we all started at the CSIR, we had this idea of making impact to South Africa. And I believe that you still have that opportunity and to continue your epic journey with the CSIR, even in industry where you are.
The alumni program is geared towards the exchange of knowledge between the CSIR and our alumni. It is an opportunity to strengthen relations and collaboration between us. Now that you've heard what the benefits of being a member of the CSIR alumni program are, what are you waiting for? Visit our website on www.alumni.csir.co.za to find out more about how to join and take full advantage of all that this program has to offer, while also giving back to the organization. I still work here, but after watching that video, I want to become an alumni. So if you are not inspired, then I don't know what will inspire you. There's the lady there with the red hair. I kind of like her. We are privileged and honored to have one of our alumni, no, actually two of our alumni here today to speak to us. One of them we saw in the video, Prof. Emma Archer. And it is an honor for me, to ask you to come onto the stage and to tell us more about why we should join and why you joined. I'm going to hand over my power to you. You have to give it back.
Thank you so much. When Dr. Dlamini cited that list of illustrious CSR alumni, I felt quite intimidated. And I wondered, in fact, why I'd been asked to speak, because I'm just a lowly teacher and professor. I can't hold a candle to some of the amazing people that you are important to the CSIR, because I think we sometimes think we know the answer to that question, but it's not always absolutely obvious. I'm then going to talk about also, what kind of environment does the CSIR offer? What's the other side of that relationship? A little bit about the role of the CSIR alumni who are located within the higher education institutions, and then I'll finish up by talking about a way forward and a few thoughts. So higher education institutions obviously have an important relationship with the CSIR, and this is something that actually, so just to explain, I am at the University of Pretoria, but I still am very engaged with the CSIR in multiple ways. And it's something we've actually been talking about. And I'm actually going to bring some reflections from a workshop we had last week it's no longer the Maraca building. I don't know. That building, The Morocco, old Morocco building. We had a wonderful workshop on postgrad supervision last week, which was really well attended by a lot of scientists and engineers from the CSIR. And one of the things we spoke about was the relationship between the CSIR and higher educational institutions. So I'm going to bring some reflections from there. So obviously, in the CSIR, a critical element is what the SCT pipeline looks like. I mean, that for many of us who've worked in the CSIR and then moved on, but also are still involved, what does the pipeline of young scientists, engineers, and technicians look like? And does it look the way? Higher education institutions are important to the CSIR but precisely because of that pipeline. Providing that pipeline, providing that close connection, really providing a strategically talented young scientists and engineers. And there are two sides to that relationship, but this is the really important part. And then I can't be up here and not talk about career ladders, because of course, one of the amazing things about the CSIR, I think, is that as a senior scientist and engineer, you are required to show as part of your performance metric that you have contributed to the SCT pipeline. And it's not an absolute relationship, but I think for many people, a close relationship with higher educational institutions can be very helpful in providing that and providing that pipeline. Now, why is the CSIR important for higher educational institutions? And I think this is why it's quite interesting to have a perspective from both sides of the N1, if you like. That bridge over King's Highway, some of us have crossed the bridge over King's Highway. Some of us may come back over the bridge over King's Highway, but it's a fluid relationship. So we were talking about this last week, and it was actually so interesting to talk about the amazing advantages that students from universities have when they can come and sit on real CSIR projects. Sometimes in the university we can offer some project experience, but I think the CSIR offers real concrete project experience that, to be honest, I think many of us in the university struggle to offer. And that project experience is often not just about finishing your own degree, although obviously that's very important, but it can be about project management, the notion of being part of a larger project, the notion of serving a client. We had a great discussion last week about how you can train students to realize that you're not simply serving your own degree purposes, but you also are serving the deadlines of a client, which I think is something that students can't learn too soon, and I think a few of my students could definitely benefit from. So that project management experience. In the higher educational institutions, I think students don't always get project management experience. It'd be nice if they did, but it's not generally part of what they do. Whereas in the CSIR, done well, and this is something we have been talking about, it's the chance to ideally develop both hard skills, so some of the amazing technical skills that we spoke about in the video, for example, things like Python programming, but also soft skills. Some of the soft skills you don't necessarily learn at the university, not just project management, but also science communication, how to get the science or the engineering products out of the lab and to communicate them, for example, to an audience and a client. Sometimes students get that university experience, but generally not. And in the CSIR, they've got the opportunity to learn both hard and soft skills. And I think it's an amazing opportunity. So I want to talk about a way forward, just a few thoughts. The CSIR Alumni Program, obviously one of the really interesting things about it is that it provides, so I'm talking specifically here, more active engagement with CSIR alumni in postgrad supervision. So if you are wanting to partner around postgrad supervision, whether it's master's students, PhDs, perhaps supervising postdocs, the CSIR alumni program provides an opportunity for more active and also, I would say, back and forth, not just one way, but really back and forth, a proper dynamic dialogue around postgrad supervision. Secondly, I took the liberty to say, well, I actually think that sometimes CSIR staff who are not students can help with mentoring by CSIR alumni who perhaps have taken different journeys. And, a big focus there, obviously, for me is early career researchers who are not necessarily still postgrad students, but can, I think, really benefit from obviously mentoring by senior CSIR staff, but also mentoring perhaps by senior CSIR alumni. I think there's some amazing opportunities there, and I hope we'll see that partnership going forward too. And then training in the soft skills. So I've just mentioned that. So we had great discussions last week around some of what students need to learn beyond simply working on projects. And those include obvious things like writing, editing, and publishing, which when I was at the CSR, we tried to be really good about training our students in-house in that, but don't always have all the skills that we need to. And also things like oral presentations. So training in those soft skills, I think, often can draw on the expertise that lies within the CSR alumni. So last of all, I think good students are hard to find. Those CSIR staff who are here probably know that, sometimes you find good students, but sometimes you have to go hunting for them, and they can be a rare species. They feel like they're getting more rare every year. A couple of people last week were saying that they've advertised studentships, but they're not necessarily always able to find good matches for those studentship opportunities. Now, a more active partnership with higher education institutions can help, because I, for example, sometimes have very good students who are not aware of the CSIR bursary opportunities. And even if I communicate them, it's not seen as a natural road ahead for them. So more active partnerships in recruiting students, working with CSIR alumni at the universities, I think has amazing opportunities available. And then in the university, we're very interested in not just building degrees, but also giving our students ready for work skills. And the CSR offers an incredible environment and a learning by doing environment to develop that. So I think those of us who are at the universities, and there are many, many CSIR alumni at the universities, are looking forward to a dynamic and a progressive road ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you for my power. I feel whole again. So, Prof. Archer, you spoke about imparting soft skills. So I did a course at University of Pretoria recently, an editing course that made me feel like, should I still actually be having this editing job? Because the things I learned and, continuous improvement, personal improvement is very key. And I left the course feeling very empowered, and I hope my editing improved if there's anyone who has access to me. Dr. Dlamini, improved? Okay. So our next speaker is, is Mr. Babalo Skefile. So the CSIR alumni program has brought back to me a long lost friend. So as I was doing the editing for the communication and the program and everything, I kept seeing this name and I'm like, "Ay man." But I know Babalo Skefile. It can't be, he didn't work at the CSIR. So this morning I'm ushering people in and then boom, it's the very same one that I know. So on a personal note, thank you CSR Alumni Program for bringing me back my long lost friend, Mr. Skefile. I'm going to give you only need half my power, right? Not all of it. Okay.
Only this one. Thank you. Thank you very much, Program Director, for the warm welcome and introduction. It is indeed a great honor and undeserved privilege to be invited to speak at this august occasion, the launch of the CSIR Alumni Program. I am convinced, Program Director, that this program will unearth rich opportunities for CSIR as those relate to your mandate of accelerating socioeconomic prosperity in South Africa. But please allow me to talk about how alumni program can support collaborative efforts with the industry. In this speech, I want to discuss why I am convinced that CSIR anchors industry in South Africa. I will also discuss how the alumni program is critical to your continuing success as the organization. An anchor is found on boats. The role of an anchor is to steady the boat so that it doesn't not get blown offshore by strong winds and waves. Although its important work is not immediately visible to the naked eye, its work is very important because it contributes immensely to to make sure that the boat remains steady and remains unshaken. As a former employee of this great institution, I can attest to how the CSIR anchors the industry. The CSIR is at the forefront of research, innovation, and development, and it helps industry to drive commercialization on tried and tested novel. Therefore, without credible research, without cutting-edge innovation, and without technology ready for industrialization, South Africa will face a stagnant economic growth. However, similar to that anchor, CSIR demonstrated over the years its capabilities to support industry through research and innovation, and has contributed to the industrial development in South Africa, which is very much important. More importantly, CSIR as an anchor produces world-class professionals, be it they researchers, innovators, scientists, or business developers such as myself. And after they have amassed a wealth of experience and expertise, unfortunately, CEO, they are enticed by other organizations and leave the institution. But previously, some of this talent, once they leave CSIR, will not contribute or complement the work of the CSIR. Sadly, CSIR could not derive benefit from the expertise, skills, capabilities that were sharpened and polished by this institution. That is why a program of this nature is so pivotal in harnessing back such talent by forming strategic partnership with institutions where former employees ply their trade to drive industrial development. Equally so, leveraging the influence of former employees in their current organization is paramount to the success of this program. For example, the Memorandum of Understanding between my organization, Black Umbrellas, and CSIR for strategic collaboration is a clear testimony that the continued engagement between CSIR and the alumni, it culminates, to a successful result. Because currently, both institutions are jointly pursuing projects of mutual interest. This brings me to my next point, how the program will be critical to CSIR success going forward. An ancient writer, in view of dispelling a notion of working in silos, once wrote the following: "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their work. For if one of them falls, the other can help his partner up." In harmony with this principle, another ancient proverb says, "Plans fail when there is no consultation, but there is accomplishment through many advisors." Essentially, what this means is that there is a strength in numbers. I am of the view that this is one of the reasons CSIR has established this alumni program, to bring back its professionals and fast-track collaborative efforts in spearheading research, development, and innovation for robust South African economy. Former employees who are part of the industry can play a significant role in ensuring that CSIR continues to be a valued and trusted stakeholder in the ecosystem. Program Director, your continued engagement with the alumni will be critical to your institutional goals. The launch of this program is a giant leap towards strengthening your ties and forming meaningful collaborations with the industry. This program should also serve as a conduit between public and private sector to accelerate market uptakes for CSIR technologies. I am convinced that executed efficiently, this program is going to be a resounding success. Black Umbrellas is committed to its collaboration with CSIR to unleash innovative opportunities for small businesses, showcasing technologies that are ready for market and project implementation with emphasis on localization. This is pivotal in rebuilding South African economy and create much needed jobs for betterment of the people of this country post-COVID-19 pandemic. Hence, it is important that this program succeed. It must succeed. It will succeed. Why? Because there is a strength in numbers. And CSIR will continue to be an anchor to industry and help accelerate socio-economic prosperity in South Africa now and into the future. If Program Director, anyone has doubts that CSIR alumnus will support this program, please allow me to remind you of a Xhosa saying, ukuze ubone enzulwini yolwandle, susa amehlo akho elunxwemeni. In order to see the deeper ends of the ocean, remove your eyes from the shore. On behalf of the board and executive management of Black Umbrellas, I wish to congratulate you on the birth of this program. We wish you every success and hope it realizes its intended objectives into the future. What a glorious future that will be. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Skefile. You just took me home. You know, you made me wanna say, izawuphumelela. Let's all say, izawuphumelela. It shall succeed indeed. And I think what you said, we've seen what we can do if the CSIR works together with industry. We saw it with the ventilators that had to be produced quick. And the CSIR, you know, doing things virtually. I used to not like virtual things, but I've seen that virtual does work. So thank you very much for that encouragement and for the prophecy that this alumni program shall succeed. We are almost at the end of our program, and I'm now going to call on a gentleman who's going to thank everyone and to wrap up. So there's a colleague of mine who says, I pronounce everybody's names in Xhosa. So I know, English. So I have been pronouncing your surname in isiXhosa. I call you Mr. Mabindisa. But today I'm going to call you Mr. Mabindisa because I think that's how you call yourself, ne? Yeah. So Mr. Mabindisa, the stage is yours. Do you need the male power and the womandla as well? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Unati. Welcome to the launch of our CSIR alumni program. Yes, indeed, the program will succeed. And also in soccer, they call it counter-attack. So here, as the industry is attracting some of our CSR employees, so as the CSIR, we are responding to that, not only in focusing on recruitment, but we go beyond that. So, and hence that talks to the objectives of our program. First, it's about ensuring that we leverage business development opportunities. Secondly, it's about the collaboration in the RD&I space. And then it's about skills development, about the transfer of skills and also mentorship. And then finally, so it's about ensuring that we provide support in terms of talent acquisition. And here, support as in referring people, but also where as you said, coming across, right, where I am. If ukumbula ekaya, you come back home, and we'll gladly welcome you, right, at the CSIR. So, looking at the program itself, it's about all employees who've left the CSIR, the former employees, right, that have left the CSIR. It focuses on the alumni, but also on the emeritus program, and I'll just touch on that briefly. The benefits is about business opportunities, collaboration, building expertise, assistance with talent acquisition, mentorship, and as well as scholarships. And this to show how serious we are with this program. So the CEO is the custodian, right, of this program. And what we'll be doing as well, right, we'll be establishing an alumni committee, and we'll be inviting some of you, right, to participate, right, in that committee. And we'll also be measuring, right, how and if we're succeeding, right, in terms of this program. Let me touch on the emeritus program. So here it's about where we focus on former employees who were at the level of chief and principal researchers. And again, here collaborating in the space, right, of research. Those who are retired and they feel that I should continue, right, with the research, and also I should impart knowledge, right, as Emma said, right, in terms of up and coming, right, researchers. This is an opportunity, right, that we're providing, right, to those researchers. And we've started work on this, where we've identified those researchers, right, that would want to invite, right, back into this program. So here it's about ensuring that we continue, right, in terms of work on mentorship. So there is a program that we're launching here at the CSIR, Prof. Emma, right, that's called Train the Trainer. It's mentorship, train the trainer, and here it's about taking forward the skill, right, and empowering, right, our line managers and as well as those who are participating, right, to ensure that they take forward, right, that skill. It's about ensuring that we participate in the attraction of funding, and as well as the delivery, right, of the various projects or research work, right, and as well as encouraging, right, the imparting, right, or the transfer of skills. So, in terms of this program, the website is already live, right? So you can visit the link, right? As we've shared here, it's already live. And so some of you would have, as they entered this afternoon, right? We shared with them, right, the access card. So if you want to, please ensure that you contact the Prof. Emma is sharing, yeah, she's got her access card already. And just contact the alumni office and talk to Sam, and we'll help you, right, with the access card. Now, where to from here, right? So here I'm just going to touch on just high level, right, in terms of the next, right, 3 quarters. And here it's about ensuring that other activities, as we progress, we co-create, right? But to start off the program, so we'll start by establishing the alumni committee, right? And establishing an annual plan, right, of the activities, right, for the year. And also we want to publish the first alumni newsletter. We'll then progress and implement the emeritus program, the induction of the emeritus, and then the introduction and the launch, right, of the mentorship program. We also want to continue, right, with the industry specific roundtable discussions. And here, as I said, co-creating, getting ideas, and also the topics, right? But there's other activities as well. The webinars, so we'll discuss the topics, what are those topics, who participates in those webinars, etc. CSI activities, there's a number of activities that we run. So this morning, we had a choir from Sikhulekile High School, right? And it's one of the schools that we're partnering with in the STEM field, especially in the CSI activities. And we want more people, right, to participate. And we're looking at going to other, right, provinces. Last year, we went to KZN where we identified 4 schools from the rural areas. And we want to look at and go to other provinces as well. On the 2nd of December, right, we'll be launching the CSR Sports Club. And we're inviting you, right, to be part of that, right, and participate in the various clubs that we have here at the CSIR, such as the running club, the squash, tennis, table tennis, etc., etc. You're welcome to be to participate, right, in that. So there's other events, right, that we'll share with you, colleagues, right, and therefore, on behalf of the EXCO, right, I would like to thank you, right, for joining the alumni program, but also for being here, right, and participating, right, in this launch. With that, I would like to thank you, and we close the launch here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mabindisa. Before you sit down, may I please ask you to hand over the gifts to our guest speakers, Prof. Emma and Mr. Skefile. Thank you very much for being here. As Mr. Mabindisa has said, we have come to the end of our program. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for letting me be your program director today. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Just remember, you've got an access card, so that's how we start, when we are fishing. We start by giving you an access card, and then we give you access to our wellness sessions, and then the next thing, you are working here again. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. There is an exhibition in the exhibition hall. Please go and walk around there. And then we look forward to seeing you in the next plenary sessions and tomorrow as well. Thank you so much.